nice.
Yeah, it was good.
That's pretty good. And welcome to Business Focus. I am your host, the Eisen Agency President, owner, and founder, Rodger Roeser. With me today, Bob Tate. He is the North American CEO, Chief Tuna Bottle Washer. What's
President.
President. It's Mr. President. It's very nice to see you.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
We worked very hard to get that title, and I've earned all the gray hairs that we have. Really a pleasure to have you on the show. You work for an organization called Axiom.
Correct.
Why don't you share a little bit about what your organization does and what it is that you do there?
Great. Well, Axiom Consulting is a global product development, design, and engineering services company.
Right.
It's been in existence for about 10 years. And beginning about 3 years ago, we opened up a business development office here in Cincinnati, really to galvanize our growth potential, particularly with strategic clients based around the world.
Sure, and it's a global company, so I mean, you got 4 locations around the world. Flagship here in Cincinnati.
We're actually Asian-based,
okay.
But we have a North American headquarters here in Cincinnati, and we have business development offices in Brussels, Belgium, and most recently in Singapore. So it truly is becoming a global footprint.
Right, and product development and innovation, you're in the right city for that.
We are. It's a hotbed in many ways.
You bet. And from a learning standpoint, having the right location. That's pretty important to manage your growth. I mean, you don't stick a business where it ain't going to grow, right?
It is. That's correct.
You fish in the pond where fish are biting. Did you guys consciously choose Cincinnati, or was it how did that come about?
We did. We sat back probably about 3 years ago and tried to reframe our strategy for global growth.
Sure.
We did a retrospective of our business and what had really found a lot of traction with which type of clients. Really tried to overlay our strategy with the strategies of our clients and where their innovation paths were likely to go. And have then tried very hard to be externally focused to better meet their needs.
Right.
We found that if we focus on what we want to do or like to do or think we should do, we often get misled. But being led by our clients to the places and the services that they believe they need and where we can provide really good value has proven to be really successful for us.
Heaven forbid, Bob, you're listening to your clients.
It's amazing. What a concept. So simple. Yeah.
And that's great insight. Now, because of that, I mean, while I guess you would be considered a small business, you are rapidly under your tutelage becoming a much larger business.
We're becoming bigger, let's say. We're not big by any stretch, and all the multinationals that are based here and the other locations that we are, but we're growing quickly at a pace of 2.5 times per year, which is pretty remarkable for us.
It is, especially in this economy, and especially knowing that there is competition in this world, but you guys do it better than most, and I think the leadership says a lot. What are some of the challenges, or what insights have you seen that you would share with fellow business owners and executives about managing this growth? Because it's not insignificant growth.
It's not. It's been really tough, and it's something that we have had to face almost daily, maybe weekly.
Right.
But it's all about the choices that we have tried to make, that focus in on building up a better value proposition for our clients. So whether it's about where we're based and whether we open up a new business development office, as we did in Singapore, whether it's about how we find the talent that we need to grow. We've doubled our employee staffing within the last 2 years.
Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing. Whether we decide to build from our roots in Asia or whether we decide to staff locally in the markets where we are now based, it's all a choice for us.
Right.
And we have found it to be very helpful on going back to really those equations that really fundamentally offer best value to our clients.
Sure.
And in that, there are some choices that we've made as a company, which is we will do it organically. We're not going to go off and make all kinds of loans, build up debt that we want to invest. We want to use our own cash flow to be able to do that. And we've had to pass on some things that we felt either were not as strategic for our clients as they might have been, even though we thought they might be good ideas. It may not just be the right time.
Right.
We've also had to pace ourselves, and make sure that we simply don't compromise the quality and the value that we truly add to our customers. So we've actually passed on some opportunities that we would have loved to do, but just was not the right time to do.
Right, and you bring up, I think, a magnificent point that so many other business owners and executives do need to understand is as part of managing the growth, you don't, while you want to, keep the pedal to the metal to some extent, you have to understand strategically when to back off, because you're right. The minute you start leveraging your business, or worse, compromising your brand because you simply can't live up to that, you're not going to have a peak. You're going to start going the other way.
Exactly. Good news about growth is fleeting. Bad news, because you've messed up for somebody, right, stays around forever, and it's really hard to turn those situations around.
Yeah. Any other insights or any other specific challenges that you would suggest from a small business owner, large business owner, on managing their growth initiatives? Is there one thing that you think that they should really focus on?
I think the other thing that we have found is that, if you believe you have a good idea, and if you have a client who is willing to learn with you about how to make that even more powerful,
right,
it's really good, to set up some practice opportunities, some pilot projects, some baby steps towards that, where you can actually get in and understand what truly is required to make this successful, and more importantly, what's required to scale it up, to become a service proposition that is really powerful going forward. You don't have to invest a lot except your own time and your own thinking. You can really understand what makes it tick, and what the risks might be, and then expand from a position of experience and success.
Sure.
And that little experiment at the very beginning, I think, can be very, very powerful.
And lead to future growth and future opportunities.
And confidence with those first clients that you
really
work
makes
with.
Good sense. That's a good idea. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there a little bit. Find the right types of clients that you do business with. Don't just be scrambling for anybody, especially because of the economy. Congratulations on your growth. I think that's obviously a
thank you.
Testament to you as president and leader, and what a great organization. Bob, how did somebody find you? What's your web address?
Our web address is www.axiomconsult.com. AXIOMCONSULT.com.
And if I do say so myself, it's a lovely website.
Good. And you have the credit for that, so thank you.
You got to know which partners to have,
Absolutely
and
right.
which folks that you need to have.
Absolutely right.
Bob, we're glad that you're a partner of Eisen, and continued success. Thank you so much for being on
It's
Business
my pleasure.
Focus.
Thank you.
And to everybody that makes Business Focus possible, especially our guest, Bob Tate, this is Rodger, over and out.